Hey family, what's good? It's your favorite life and dating coach, Coach Sean, and I'm actually here today to talk to you guys about 3 types of men that you need to reclaim your time from.
Reclaiming my time, reclaiming my time.
Stop. In the words of Auntie Maxine, we are going to reclaim our time. Now listen to the 3 types of guys that you need to avoid. If you see this kind of guy, run forward, run forward, run. All right? So guy number 1 is the kind of guy that always disappears. Everything is going great. You guys have been enjoying each other's company. It feel like there's a real bond. You guys have great chemistry together, all of that. He's just been all over the place. You guys have been calling and texting and all of that, and all of a sudden he disappears. But guys that make a habit of doing this, it's typically because they have somebody else, or they're not ready for the kind of commitment that you require, or so many reasons. But to me, I would almost find it to be low-key insulting that you think that you have 6 months to leave me unattended, for you to go run off and do whatever it is without any type of explanation. So for you to think that no other man would snatch me up. Men like this love to waste your time, your energy, your youth, all of that. So don't let him waste your time. If he's not serious about you, and that's fine, but don't just be there 6 months later, he's gone. He comes back, and 6 months later, and he keeps doing this. This is how some men have women just waiting for them for years and years and years. You're afraid to move on because it's like clockwork. You know he's gonna come back, and you know that you don't want to move on. You don't want to get too close to somebody else because he's gonna come back. If he doesn't think enough of you to stop leaving, then let him go for good. So the second type of man that you need to reclaim your time from, and that is somebody who is trying to keep you a secret. Like, he doesn't want to tell anyone. He's all of a sudden he wants to be private. This is the same kind of guy that tells every little thing on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, what he ate, his location, all this, what he's doing this weekend. If he's somebody who overshares everything else, but the one thing he wants to keep private is you, no ma'am. You are too dope, too amazing to let anybody hide you under a bushel, okay? Nobody puts baby in the corner. I have to wonder why. Is there someone else? Is he trying to pretend to be single? Is he pursuing somebody else? Does he have a girlfriend? There's so many reasons why he could be trying to keep you a secret. But if he's the kind of guy that shares everything else except you gotta see that as a red flag. And the third kind of guy that you want to reclaim your time from is somebody who dismisses your feelings. If you're telling him, look, I feel like you have way too many female friends and they're super flirty with you and I don't really like that, or I feel like your mom is always in our business, or whatever it is. If every time you try to tell him how you feel, he just dismisses it, always tells you you're overreacting or you're being too sensitive, and every time you try to tell him how you truly feel, he always minimizes your feelings. That's the kind of guy that you don't want to be around, because over time that's really going to wear on you and make you feel like you're not important to him, or not even important at all. You don't want anybody that doesn't make you feel like what you're saying and that your feelings are truly valid. I remember some years and years ago, I think I was like 16 years old, I was going out on a date. We were going to the Coastal Carolina Fair in Charleston, South Carolina, which is where I'm from. And I was going out on this date with this guy, and he was a lot taller than me, so he took like longer strides, and I felt like he was walking so fast. And I'm 4'11", so I'm like, trotting along. And I felt like he kept on like making me walk a few paces behind him. And that got on my nerves like instantly. So I brought it to his attention sort of jokingly, like, man, you gonna run off and leave me? What's going on? And he like, the look on his face when I said that, even though I said it jokingly, he looked at me like, he just sort of like squashed what I said, and he kept doing it the entire date. And it really bothered me. And I was like, okay, you know what, that's fine. So he tried to ask me out again. I was like, no. And every time he tried to pursue me, I was over it, and I was over him. Because if you can't take me or what I'm saying seriously after just something so small, I can imagine that something big was on my mind. He made it seem like I was bothering him to dare say anything about what he was doing, that it was a problem. And I asked him something super small, like, can you slow down a little bit? Like, you're walking so fast. I didn't like the idea that he was making me feel like I'm trailing behind him. I'm like, I'm not running behind nobody, not figuratively or literally. Like, why don't you slow down a little bit? Like, can we get it down to a slow stroll? But he refused to do it, so I'm like, okay, you know what? And the man that he is today is still that kind of guy with women. And I'm so glad that I had like the spirit of discernment even back then, that I figured that it was going to be a bigger issue. It seems small. You might be listening to that like, okay, it seems small, but he turned out to be the same kind of man that he was as a boy. Like, really dismissive of women and their feelings. And I'm like, I dodged a bullet with that one. All right, so those are 3 types of guys you should reclaim your time from. If you enjoyed these types of videos, be sure to thumbs up. If you want to hear more of my tips on love, life, and relationships, be sure to check out both my books. The first one is called The Dating Game, How to Find Yourself While Looking for Mr. Right. And my second book is called Breaking the Man Code, The Key to Unlocking His Heart. Both my books will be linked below in the description box. And thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Till next time, later divas and dudes. Deuces, honey.